we have to talk about the first 39 minutes of the show.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
It is the thumbnail.
It's the thumbnail. It's by far the longest segment thing on the show. It goes over a commercial break.
Mm.
I mean, a little bit of Perth recapping of Elimination Chamber. Then Roman Reigns walks out with Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa. It is 8:10. SmackDown goes on the air at 8 p.m. here in southern New Jersey for us. It is 8:10 by the time Roman says anything. And he's, asking, acknowledge me. He sulks at the reaction each time. He wants to leave, but Paul says, no, because after commercial, The Rock will be here. And so everybody sticks around to see sulking Roman Reigns, and they come back from commercial, and The Rock is there. And sure enough, it's 8:21 when finally The Rock says something.
Wow.
8:21, are you sure you want to boo The Rock? Then says Phoenix is the city with the highest cocaine and meth use in the country. And so he's leaning into the heel stuff. I like that both of them are leaning into the heel stuff, but the real meat and potatoes for this, and it took them a while to get there, was I think you had hinted it. You wanted to see Rock and Roman in a tag match against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. They're now saying that's going to be WrestleMania Night 1 main event. Tag match, Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, and there are stipulations here because it's wrestling and we need stipulations.
Of course.
If Cody and Seth win, then night 2 is the title match, Cody versus Roman, and the bloodline barred from ringside, barred from the arena maybe. They'll sign the contracts and get the lawyers and everything. But if Rock and Roman win, or Roman and Rock, then night 2 title match is a bloodline rules, where, anything goes, which basically means it's a standard Roman Reigns title defense, right?
Right.
Every Roman Reigns title defense has been bloodline rules.
Bloodline rules.
Four other guys coming into the ring. The ref gets knocked out. The other guy pins Roman, but there's no count. I mean, so I like that. But then
that really has been every title defense for like a year
that we've seen. Like maybe he did like 3 years ago. There was something else, but this is every match we've seen for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rock is going to do his If You Smell, and Roman Reigns stops him. Says he needs The Rock to acknowledge him. And there's this stare down, and the Rock obliges, says he will do it for family. And while the crowd is chanting, "You sold out," The Rock admonishes the crowd and then says, "Yes, I acknowledge you as my tribal chief." And then they do the catchphrase together. Rock says, "If you smell," and he hands the microphone to Roman. And Roman says, "What the bloodline is cooking." And it's 8:39 p.m. on a show that's going off the air at 9:58.
It was.
This is not Raw, where you can do this and there's still more than 2 hours left. It's an hour and 13 minutes left, and you got to do more commercials because you only did one in the first 40 minutes.
Right.
This is not the best format for a SmackDown. Now, I know there are eyeballs on the screen for this segment. It probably did the best number. The Rock's a star. Roman's a star. But this is tough for a SmackDown show, is it not?
This is weird. It is a little retro, right? Where you have a very, like, they haven't done, they kind of got away from the long-winded promos because they're mostly like, oh my God, is this over yet? And by the time it's over, the crowd's tuned out. They're going on and on and on and on. I'm thinking like Triple H years ago, kind of going on and on and on. You'd go get a sandwich, you come back, he's still talking. But I think The Rock is really money. He just he can still, especially as a heel, he can still tear into the crowd.
Yep.
Women are screaming at him. I haven't heard women scream at at a pro wrestler like that, like Beach Boys. But he's like a 55-year-old crazy juice head man. It's just it was weird, but I mean it was good because I think he's still just his ability to tear apart like these Midwest cities so far has been stellar.
It's cheap heat. Not to foreshadow what we do every time we live stream here. Yes, it's cheap heat. The Rock basically turns the crowd into his opponent. So all the ripping that he would do to his opponent years ago, he's now doing to the crowd again as a heel. In spite of how long the segment went, the crowd in the arena seemed to enjoy it.
They were eating it up.
Enjoy it, I mean they were engaged, and they were booing the heck out of these guys.
Yeah,
like as they should have. The "You Sold Out" chants were great. The Cody chants were great.
You got a Triple H chant. They were chanting all kinds of stuff, and it's probably the first person we've really seen give a lot to the crowd to chant and cheer for. Because a lot of times, I mean, we've seen some people that just are not even close to The Rock on the mic,
Sure.
on SmackDown, with like Logan Paul, Grayson Waller, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a totally different ball game with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I like the idea because I have tickets for Saturday for WrestleMania.
All right.
So I am like, oh, cool. I get to see The Rock